Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
Boy, what a way to start that off. And look, this is live and raw, and Fabio made me late, if you believe that. Or is it the other way around? You have to wonder. See, I've
been waiting for the link all day, so.
Where's the damn link?
Send me the link.
Listen, dude, when is the Hot Toys Wizard going to take on your likeness again? And is a cigar? You're going to have a cigar again, dude.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Listen, everybody, I think we're going to have a fun show. It's the Dark Jedi Aries Charrington. It's Fabio from Fabio World, no longer Fabio Land. We've got 3 weeks, just about 3 weeks now, until May 4th. And you have to wonder, is Hot Toys about to blow us away? We have got so many topics, Fabio and I, to discuss with you all tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's just go ahead and dive into it, baby. Right now. Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? Best intro in the world. I love that music. I love starting the show because that music gets me going.
Yeah, it gets me going too. But what do you think? I was talking to a couple of my insiders about it, and I think they dig the idea. What if I did a little dance and had a shadow of me, kind of like a ghost of that? Would you like that if I put on some freaking Capizios, a little top hat? Maybe the suit.
Do a trial as the wizard first, and then go.
People keep asking me to come on as the wizard. Is it possible?
Awesome. That was awesome.
Maybe May 4th week. Should I do the wizard one?
You have to, absolutely. For May 4th week, come on.
Maybe I could do the wizard. What about TK FOMO? I haven't seen him in a while.
CT suck it.
And don't forget about TK Bomi.
TK Bomi.
Say that 5 times fast. TK Bomi, TK Bomi. Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on, everybody? In case you don't know who I am the Dark Jedi Aries Charrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars and Marvel Hot Toys talk. And that is Fabio right there from Fabio World, FabsFigures, the biggest collection in the galaxy. Fabio, what do you think about that, dude? I like diving into under construction, the Marvel market value chart. It's going to take several months, but we got a lot up already, baby.
Yeah, no, I knew it was a matter of time that you had to. There was no way that you were going to stay out of that. You had to get into that. It's very important. And I've always thought, I've always said, people want to hear your opinion on everything, pretty much. You know what I mean? They really value and appreciate your opinion. And so I personally knew that you had to get involved in that at some point. There was no way out of it.
Yeah, I feel like there's no way out of it. But now I feel like it'll be fun. I had to get that year under my belt with my main IP, which is Star Wars. And now I'm kind of digging it. Now I feel like, I'm in the groove to do that, because you're right. I do get so many questions about Marvel and about DC. And yes, DC will be coming after that for sure. And then everything Hot Toys will be inserted in. The website is, and that's the interesting thing too. It finally hit a few days ago, Fabio, 20,000 unique views. 6scalecantina.com. And I've talked to you about this. That was actually my primary passion before starting the channel. It was my wife. I told this story before, and a couple of times on a couple of interviews that people interviewed me, but I told it on my channel. I really just wanted to do the damn website and hang out on everybody's channel. And my wife was like, no, you got to go speak. You got to open your mouth. I'm like, no, I'm too old. I got too much gray. Who the hell wants to hear me? And then here I am. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it's funny because, I've throughout my life about different topics, I would be like, no, who's going to want to listen to me? Who's going to want to, pay attention to anything I have to say? But it's true. Like, people really do value, people's opinions and guidance as well, which is why they message you for advice and any help they could get. So it's, a lot of people may not, tell you how much they appreciate you and stuff, but you better believe that they do, or else they would never message you.
No, absolutely. And look, baby, there's already 53 in here. We should probably tell them what we always tell them, Fabio. Smash the like button, baby. Go ahead and do that. Smash the like button here at 6 Scale Cantina for Live and Raw. My special guest, Fabio, my friend Fabio from FabsFigures. We got a lot to discuss tonight. Let's go ahead and say hi to some of you that are in here before we go ahead and dive into it. The collector number 1 is in here, Fabio. It's good to have the collector number 1. Let me know what table you're at. We'll be serving it all up, baby. And the collector number 1 says, we want to hear you, Aries. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for being in here. The collector number 1, great supporter. I'll be serving you up, baby. Believe me, I got plenty of spots tonight, guys, right here. I got more right Jawa. Here. I could keep going with this freaking spot.
Give me the Jawa.
Dude, you didn't think I knew you were going to ask it. I've got it full, and it's frosted. It's frosted, guys. You can't even see the frost on my crazy screen. I've got the off-world Jawa egg juice. I've got even Dixie cups, dude. I got Dixie cups for freaking, Tauntaun milk.
So you could take shots of the Jawa?
Spice Runner is in here. I am here because I stalk Fabio. Well, Chris Elliott, what's up? Combat Evolve is in the house. What is going on, Combat? Good to see you. Collector number 1 says, hit that like button for sure. Go ahead and do that. Ashley Chase is in the Cantina. What is going on, my friend? And what about DC list too? Yeah, as I was saying, and I was talking to Fabio about that too offline. Definitely DC's coming. Let's get the Marvel up first. DC will follow, my friend, for sure. 6 Scale 501st. Welcome in here. Joshua, what is going on? And continuing to look in here. Primetime reviews. So cool having Primetime in here on Saturday on the show. Also saying hit that like button. Come on. And continuing to go up in here. Big dog pound. I have to do this. It's live and raw. Ready? Woo! Come on. Dun, 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 dun. CT603, a friend of TK FOMO. We're wondering where TK FOMO is. Come on. AG is in here, says, is this show ever not fun? It's always a blast. Makes Monday a whole lot better. I know, right? It's another Manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday, but here I am.
Wish it was Sunday.
DT Artman is in the house. Punisher, what's going on? Patrick, what is going on? Big Dog Pound says, right now, MTX is in the house. My goodness gracious. So many of you in here. If I miss you, keep chatting. And listen, we got a lot to go in over here. Zeno is in the house. Lane Kramer is in the house. Come on. And Mr. McPickle is in the house. Hey, Aries, I have one quick question. Would it be worth it to buy a Return of the Jedi Deluxe Luke Skywalker, or should I wait for a re-release because of the anniversary for Return of the Jedi? That's an interesting question. I'll go first, and then I'll get Fabio's opinion on that. Mr. McPickle, I love the name. Look, I personally think it is worth it. I love the Return of the Jedi Deluxe Luke Skywalker. It's absolutely one of my favorite. If you have the money budgeted and it's really, really your passion, and you're not going to go into the poorhouse or go into debt because of it. I love that particular figure. That being said, I would hunt for it. You can get a deal on it, although I will tell you, with that deluxe set for Endor, it is very, very, very difficult. Even when I picked up that set, gosh, over a year ago, I still had to pay $425 all in for that set, which is pretty much my max on the secondary market, and actually a little bit over, like $25 over. But I had to have that. But I would hunt around, get it at a price you're comfortable with. I honestly don't see another Luke. They had the Luke Jedi Knight. They had the Luke Endor Deluxe. I think you're going to get something else. There's so many Lukes that are going to be coming out, but I think eventually one will come out. But if it's really what you want, I don't think it's going to be reissued anytime soon. But go ahead, Fabio. What do you think? Good question.
Same thing. I don't think you're going to get the exact same Luke for that anniversary at all. Obviously, if you really, 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 really wanted, and it's, I don't know what it's going for at this point, so I don't know. But it's up to you. It's always up to the person. If you got the money for it, and it's something you really, really want, and you need it in your collection, and you would really, you will really appreciate it when you do have it, then by all means, that's the whole point of buying, things that you like. You know what I mean? It's not about what we think of it. It's you're the one who's got to pay for it. You're the one who's got to walk by it every day. You're the one who's got to appreciate it. You're the one who's gonna own it. You know, so it's all up to you. If it makes sense for you to get it, money wise, collecting wise, then by all means. Money. When we talk about overpaying, for things like that, there are some things that are just inevitable. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It's just the name of the game.
Yep.
If you're involved in this hobby, and let's say, for example, it's not your fault and you just got into it, after the Luke was sold out. You can't blame yourself for having to go on eBay or anywhere else to overpay for it, because again, that's the name of the game. Now, if you chose to purposely not buy it and hope that, again, just assuming that, hope that it went, number one, was either lower in the future, or, just hoping that it was not going to sell out as fast, then, this is your fault, because you were trying to play the game and it backfired. So now you missed out on it. And now you got to overpay. So it depends on the situation. It's not one size fits all for everything. It's personal choice at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I totally agree with you, Fabio, and I love that you brought that up. And thank you again, Mr. McPickle, for this comment, for this question. It is a game, and you do have to play it in anything that you're collecting. I've played this game so much when I bring up vintage mock or vintage mint in box, vintage seal. It's a game. It's totally a game with some of this stuff, and sometimes you lose, like Fabio said. It sometimes that's just part of it. It's what it is. That's going to be the price. That's what you're going to get. And I do agree with him. I don't think you're going to get that exact one, at least in that form, ever again. And it is an absolutely fantastic set. Already 70 in here. We're not even done saying hi to everybody. We'll go in that 73 now. Smash that like button. Come on, live and raw. And AJ says, props to the Tigers hat, Aries. Come on. How about Chet Lemon? So you know what I'm doing there. Come on. I love the Tigers. Let's go. Lane Kramer says, and Lane, hi to you. So Sideshow is having an unknown unboxing tomorrow. What you two think the figure they might unbox? What hot toy could it be? Wait, you got to do it like this. Who can it be now? Who can it be now? I say the Hot Toys Wizard hot toy figure. What do you think it is, Fabio?
Tomorrow by Sideshow. Are we taking real guesses here, or are we not?
Well, I said the Hot Toys Wizard. You never know. You do have to wonder. We're taking Wizard. I'll go first, so I'll go first and say, if I had to guess right now on the spot, what is it going to be? Clone Wars Anakin. What do you think?
Clone Wars Anakin. Wow.
With the stat. And they're going to unseal and reveal it because they want to show off that stab.
I don't know about that. I'm going to go with, if I had to guess, what was the last one we got? What was the last announcement we got? It was
That's a good question. What was
Darth
it?
Maul. Was it Darth Maul? Darth Maul.
The last announcement? No, it was Clone Wars. It was Clone Wars Maul. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to say it's got to be, yeah, because that was the last release. So.
Well, you got the freaking Grogu set that's due out, right? It was supposed to be due out the first
Yeah,
quarter.
What is due out coming soon? Because there's so much coming out that.
And we're going to dive into it in this episode. It's one of
Yeah.
our topics. But you got Grogu set that was supposed to come out by the end of March. You have the Transport Trooper that was supposed to come out the end of March. Clone Wars Anakin. Okay, so you had those three. Now, with starting in April, it's Bo-Katan from like April to June. That has the shipping date there, and also the Blurg and the OG Mando and the Blurg starting April 1 to June. So it could be that. Moff Gideon. I'm going to miss some of them here. 40th Luke. 40th Luke is supposed to.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be a Star Wars, believe it or not. I think it's going to be something else.
Cable? Miles Morales?
It could be Miles. If so, this is going to be my guess. So if it's Star Wars, which I don't think it is, it's going to be the Transport Trooper. And if it's Marvel, it's going to be either Miles or what the hell's the other one? Or Cable. One of those. Yeah.
What DC ones are due out? It could be a DC one.
Let's see what they're supposed to be coming out with. Actually, nothing soon that I know of. I'm still waiting.
They gotta come out.
Right.
We're going to talk about that tonight.
There's a lot of them. That's why. So I still haven't received my Wonder Woman deluxe. So I don't know what's going on with that.
I still didn't receive my freaking Boba Fett 2-pack people are getting.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, I got 3 payments left on that, so I'm not worried about that yet. But because I ordered 4 double packs, that's why I'm still taking like a little bit to pay it off. But I think DC, I don't know what the hell's coming out with DC because Wonder Woman's not even out yet. So, not even out meaning that hasn't shipped from Sideshow.
Yeah.
So I have no idea with DC at all.
We'll see. We're going to dive into it a little bit. Let's say hi to more of the people in here. I'm going down. We're getting to the chat. MTX goes, here at table 404, don't get lost trying to get that egg juice to me. 404 is like table 44, and we all know it's cold as heck on 44 and 404, wherever it's 4.
Oh, really? You're cold?
Uncommon Flex says Jawa egg juice at table 5. Well, that's usually he's hanging out with Popsic, so you know what that means. Table 5, Fabio.
I just want to say hello to Uncommon Flex, the nicest guy I've ever met.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, I hope to meet you, Uncommon Flex. That's great to hear from Fabio. Fabio says it. I know that's really, really good. So welcome in here, Uncommon Flex. That's awesome at table 5. The collector number 1 says Jawa egg juice all day and some spatchka on the side. And continuing to go down here, sitting outside on my deck. Welcome in, Chris. Smoking a Cohiba in honor of Fabio. Come on. And 808 says, Aries, you're not as old as I am.
He meant in the honor of the wizard because I don't smoke.
Yeah, you meant in honor of the wizard there, Chris. Come on. 808. All right. Listen, man. Come on. I guess, I just feeling it. I feel it here, my friend. Good to have 808 in here. I'm sure. Are you sitting at table 88? We've got to fill him up. So here we go, Fabio. That one freaking clip, dude. It tells so much about where these freaking guys are going on Disney Plus. Come on. Do I got to say anymore? How do I got to drill it in? Oh, look at this, Fabio. Someone had to do it. Van City Collectibles. What's going on? Van City Collectible Gaming. What's up, everyone? Table 66 with some off-world coffee And Mandalorian Huntress, please refill wizard juice at table 66. I have the pink wizard juice. It's right here. So listen, for Van City and for the Mandalorian Huntress, they called it. It's so damn good.
And it get good.
We didn't get to any of our damn topics yet. We're continuing to go in over here and looking at all this stuff. AJ just played it for you. You're at table 66. There you go. Come on. Let's continue to go down some of these over here. Spice Runner is in the house as well. Going down over here. Fat Batman's collecting nightmare. Isn't that what C-3PO said in Attack of the... That's my favorite part. When he's in that freaking thing, Fabio at Attack of the Clones, and C-3PO is like, oh, I'm quite beside myself. It's a nightmare. Oh, my goodness gracious. Big Dog Pound says, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, hey. What's up, Mary Sullivan? All right. Cypher 9. What's up, Mary? Cypher 9. The Bug Man is in the house. I love that avatar. Fabio Aries. My two favorite 12-inch lovers. Good to have you in here, my man. Continuing to go down and seeing Paul Morales welcome in. Goodness gracious. Basic B. Atch is in here. I love that name. That's pretty cool. That's up there with Hold My Balls. Basic B. Atch. Come on. And look who this is. I've never heard of this guy, but I love the name, man, of Hot Collectibles. Hello, Aries Fabio.
Somebody, moderator in the chat, please block this man.
Listen, is it possible that the Hot Toys Wizard will take on the likeness of Dante again from the Man of Hot Collectibles? And I say, where's he going to be on in the galaxy when this happens again, Fabio? Like, will he be like on Tatooine? Will he be on Coruscant? You know, where will he be? You know, I have no idea. It's going to be real interesting.
Dante will be in Peru. Back where he belongs.
In Peru. There you go. In Peru. Come on. Good to have Dante in the house. What is going on, my man? The Man of Hot Collectibles. We had an awesome show on Friday. Dude, that was fun on Friday. Come on. How many times did we play like a bantha? Like a bantha. Holy crap.
That song, I know people have gotten tired of it, but that song never gets tired. That song, to me, so cool. It hypes up the mood. Awesome little clip, whoever made that.
Dude, all fracking night that was in my head. I went to sleep with that song in my head. Bob Dylan's in the house. What is going on, Bob? What is going on? And he says Doc is in here. I didn't see Doc, but welcome in here, Doc. There he is. There's Doc. Well, good to have Doc in the house. Doc Smizzle. Casper is in here as well. Goodness gracious. And Chewy's Bandolier. What is going on? Good to be in here. Let's get to the first topic with 80 in here. Before we get to it, smash that like button. You are watching Live and Raw. And what you gonna do when the Dark Jedi and Fabio run wild with Live and Raw on you? What you gonna do? And here's the first topic. Let's bring it up. Like Goldberg, who's next? All right. So listen, we got a lot of topics that we're going to get into. And like Goldberg, who's next? Talking just announcements, Fabio. Just announcements, and you've probably seen the banner that I had up for this. That's the first thing we're going to get into. Talking about announcements, not releases, not what they need to do, not about the wish list May 4th, just what can be next. What can be next maybe tomorrow? Like Lane brought up that damn question about what's the unsealed and revealed. Maybe something that'll come out. Maybe two things will come out tomorrow. Maybe something on Wednesday night, Thursday night, later this weekend, next week. Who's next? I'm going to bring up some in there. Let me know in the chat. Participate. What you think is next. I have a hunch that it's going to be Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett related. Part of a hunch is I just feel like they're coming with the Book of Boba Fett releases, still Mandalorian releases. I think they may want to get, not all of them, but a couple of them out before May 4th week. not overrun us like last year with all the Mandalorian releases that week. I hope that they mix in some OT, some Legacy, some Clone Wars stuff. Here's the first one that I think could be absolutely next. I'm going to pull it up on the screen for various reasons. Here it is, Fabio. I am calling Cobb Vanth as one of the next few that is going to be. He was very prominent in the book of Boba Fett. The ending credit scene actually featured him. This was teased. This is from the Sideshow Con or whatever the heck it was with this figure. What do you think about this? I think that this is one of the ones that are next, and it wouldn't surprise me actually if this is the figure that Guy Klender unseals and reveals tomorrow with Sideshow. Go.
I don't think so. There's
or not unsealed and revealed, but I mean, could
yeah, I was gonna say not unsealed and reveal. Well, I mean, as I'm going to try to make sense out of this and ask you a question. Has Hot Toys ever? Because I don't know this. I don't pay attention to this stuff. But has Hot Toys ever released two Hot Toys figures, two Star Wars figures back to back?
Release wise or announcement wise? This would be an announcement.
Announcement back to back. Because
I want to say yes, but I don't, and that's a tricky question.
Yeah, see, I can't, because this is where I was going. So let's say, for example, that they're doing, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Marvel. You know what I mean? So let's with we just talked about, Darth Maul was just announced, released. Then they announced Moon Knight, which is Marvel, right? So now it's either Star Wars or DC. Right, so another announcement from those two franchises. So it could be anything. You know what I mean? It could be so much. But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go with. They already announced Marvel, so I'm gonna go with Star Wars, and I'm gonna say
it's hard. It's so damn hard.
There's no, you know what it is too? There's so much already out on pre-order that I keep going back to those and can't think of anything new.
Like I'm flashing on while you're thinking about it. Man of Hot Collectible saying Transport Trooper and Cable. He's also bringing up about the lockdown, but you do got Sideshow doing that reveal tomorrow. So what the heck is it? Announcement wise, Transport Trooper, Cable. What's next as far as announcements? Cobb, Vanth, Cad Bane. Lots of Cad Bane in here.
Actually, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Cad Bane. Actually, I'm going to go with that one. I completely forgot about him. So yeah, that would be a good announcement, Cad Bane.
I have that one queued up as well. That's another one. So I think it's going to be Cobb, but I also think that Cad is one of the next ones as well.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and pull him up on the screen. I actually think, and I played that interruption several times over the last couple of weeks. And I think that when you're talking about Fabio, you look at this right here, and then you bring this up, especially with the head sculpt for Timothy Oliphant. These two, when you're talking about a simultaneous announcement, what's next? Holy moly.
That would be awesome.
That would be good. And I'm still trying to think if they've ever done something like that before. Let me know in the chat if any of you know, announcement-wise or release-wise, either one, if they've ever done two in a row. I could tell you that with the Clone Wars Anakin, when they announced that, Fabio, they had the Clone Wars General Kenobi in several of the pictures. So in a way, they kind of said, hey, this is coming. It's not today, right? So they've done that before. So, maybe if they did do Cad Bane and then they showed Cobb Vanth, like in that standoff like they had in that episode in the book of Boba Fett. I think that was chapter 6 when they had that. That was right. That was before the finale. Chapter 7, we would be like, holy smokes. We know it's coming. And we know it's coming where it's going to be that magnetic outfit with that as well. But yeah, I think that over the next few, I would be surprised if it's not Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth. So I'm with you on Cad Bane. What do you think about Cobb? Next few for Star Wars announcement?
He's, in my opinion, he's 100% coming. He has to come. He's a big part. He was a big part of the show. Not only the Mandalorian, but Book of Boba, the fact that he's continuing, obviously we saw the end credits and he's still alive. That says a lot about the character. So he's 100% coming. It's just, how are they deciding to give him to us? Are they going to give us a head sculpt and the helmet? Obviously, you just had the picture up of him being teased with the helmet on, which doesn't show a head sculpt, but that doesn't mean that Sideshow's not giving. I mean, Hot Toys is not giving us a head sculpt. I think it's only right to get this figure with the head sculpt because of the type of figure that it is. Yeah, he's on the show with the helmet on a lot, but he's also without it as well. And any figure that, at least up to now, that has a head sculpt and a helmet, I feel like they should be giving us the head sculpt because of the fact that Hot Toys, that's what Hot Toys is supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like when they come out with a trooper, obviously, yeah, that's understandable because troopers are helmeted 24/7. You never see their face. But when you have an actor, like this, it's only right, and it's we buy Hot Toys.
That.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean. We like I said before, we buy Hot Toys for the real life likeness of these characters, and if you're getting a character with a head sculpt, that's Hot Toys. And I feel like that's why it hasn't been announced properly, because they're working on the head sculpt and they have to tease it. I feel like, you know what I mean? They could have blurted out like they have done, with Green Goblin and stuff like that. But maybe it was something that they didn't choose to do right away. They're like, oh, should we give them the figure? And I'm just, speculating and assuming. But I'm just saying, for example, they're like, oh, we could get away with giving them Cobb Vanth without the head, which is why they displayed them that way.
Yeah.
But they probably were like, you know what? Can we make more money by giving them the head sculpt? Can we, so I feel like there's something on delay because of that, but this figure is 1,000% coming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like that's one of the two, or if not both of them, that could be coming over the next few on what's next. We're talking about Star Wars, first topic of the night. Well, really, second topic is where we're answering some regular chats in here. What's next announcement-wise for Star Wars Hot Toys? Fabio and I agree. Both of these guys from the book of Boba Fett. I'm not really talking about the Mandalorian here, but we're talking about Cobb Vanth, and we're also talking about Cad Bane. And then I want to get into some of the other ones that people are mentioning within the chat over here. House of Collectibles says, Fabio, Anakin with the staff next to get Clone Wars out of the way. He's talking about announcement-wise. Could that be? That's one of the ones I was calling for tomorrow. I think there's a couple of sides to this. I think you're right. Maybe it's got to be they wait more for talking about more about the Obi-Wan series, which is going to come in a month, or in 3 weeks. Maybe they do want to get it out of the way and get this out. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, I wouldn't mind having multiple releases within a week. Like, that would never affect me. You know what I mean?
Well, they need to, like you were saying last week.
Exactly. They need to do this to be able to catch up, at least. You know what I mean? Just to be able to, even though everything's, delayed, to be able to reach some type of catch up, not even, you can't even say deadline, because again, everything's already pushed back, but to get near the deadline, maybe, apparently they've done this before. I never paid attention to it. Because again, I don't think about any of this stuff. If something like that affected me, for example, like I said, supposedly or apparently, they did a whole bunch of releases in 1 week, apparently last year, which again, if it happened, I don't remember. I don't pay attention to that, because again, by the time something's released, everything's already paid off. All they do is charge the last payment and I'm done. So none of that phases me ever. So that's why I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. But if that's the case and it worked out for them money-wise, then guess what? It could keep happening.
And they need to make it happen. That's the formula.
Correct. And it has to happen at some point for them to get anywhere near close to catching up.
Well, and I think that Dante brings up a good point in there. There were lockdowns up in China. We're coming off the Chinese New Year. We're still dealing with a lot of issues. There could be a number of reasons, but I do think that way is what's coming. Sticking with this topic here on what's next for Star Wars Hot Toys, 808 Michigan Jedi states in here they may even pull the ultimate surprise announcement, General Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is something interesting, because there's a double whammy here, what 808's talking about. A lot of us are assuming this is going to be a May 4th. They're going to have the other trailer for the Obi-Wan series. It could actually be completely different. They can actually be doing like they did with the Spider-Man movie. They can be giving us an early. They've teased a lot of photos of Obi-Wan Kenobi, a ton. You can actually, like Spider-Man, get something of Obi-Wan even before, weeks before that comes out. For May 4th. And the surprise thing tomorrow, is it possible it could be General Obi-Wan Kenobi? Because a lot of us in the community, Fabio, have assumed this was going to be like the armor, and it wasn't going to take 2 years to come out, that this one would be some type of exclusive. This may, he may be onto something here.
Yeah. Now, again, these figures, they have to come out. Another thing, last year too, I forget which announcement it was that we got that was very unexpected. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I know for a fact it didn't cross anybody's mind when they came out with that announcement. I forget which figure it was. But my thing is, don't underestimate the surprise aspect of Hot Toys, because they are known for giving us random things, like random things when we least expect it, which again, I don't mind. That's exciting to me, because, we talk about things that we want, but we never think about what they have to make. You know what I mean? Like they have things on schedule that they have to make that we don't think about. You know what I mean? So that's what's exciting to me about not knowing what's coming from them, because it's always something very, very random. We're like, where did that come from? So it's cool.
Yeah, and really, besides Cobb, we talked about Cobb Vanth and we talked about Cad Bane. Fabio, we're both in agreement. Would you agree that this one is also one of the next several ones, probably announcement-wise, for them?
This figure right here?
Yeah, this Obi-Wan.
Oh, absolutely. People.
Yeah.
So, number one, the people who got the original Obi-Wan are definitely going to get this, because having them together is going to be awesome. Number two, the people who missed out on the original Obi-Wan, the Jedi Obi-Wan, are definitely picking this up, because they're like, you know what? I need an Obi-Wan. So this is a hot sale no matter what.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely think that those three. MTX puts up, this one's really interesting, and I would think this is more, and maybe he's talking about May 4th, but we're actually talking about here whatchamacallit, Star Wars Who's Next, and even before May 4th. But MTZ says Dark Ray from left field. Oh, they could. They actually could do it before.
Right.
It can get you kind of, if they did something like that, announcement wise, we're talking about what's next, it kind of starts making you wonder. You have to wonder about May 4th week. Now you start really fracking thinking, oh crap, they did this now? What are they going to do then? That's an interesting one.
That's exciting. That's the exciting thing about. That's exactly what I was saying. They'll give you one thing, and then you're like, oh, what? Which is what gets us speculating so much. When they release one thing, you're like, oh, what could be next? Maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, and that's what makes it exciting.
And here's one from 808. I would think this would have to be May 4th week, but you never know. He said it might be Mace Windu future announcement. Come on.
Anything's possible. That's the thing, and that's the beauty of the whole thing. Anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, that I actually do think, I really believe 808 Michigan Jedi, and I love your avatar, by the way. I really do think, Fabio, that this year we're going to get that prequels Mace Windu announcement. We may not get it for 2 years or 2.5 years, but I really just think the announcement's coming before New Year's, before the bell rings, before we bang the pots and blow the horns and drink the rum. I think it's going to be announced already. I just do.
I mean, no, it's gonna. At some point, it has to. It's, and like we always talk about, they're listening. They watch these shows. They, and I don't mean necessarily, Howard. Maybe he does. We don't know. But, staff has to watch these shows and kind of get an idea of what people are asking for, what people would really want. And so, we specifically talk about that a lot. He would fit in any collection perfectly. I don't think, people would look at the figure and be like, I don't really need it. I don't really want it. It's a must, I feel like, for, any Star Wars fan. So another thing is you have to understand too, like what's the reason behind why Hot Toys releases what they release? Like why these figures? Why not these? So my thing was maybe, when it comes to money, they'll give really, really big deal announcements to try and get as many pre-orders as possible to get in some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. It just depends on what they, but again, it doesn't even make sense. So it could go, and that's the thing about Hot Toys. And I don't know if this whole, keeping everything so secretive is part of their plan. So nobody's constantly guessing, oh, they're coming out with this next. We're not getting that. Or, oh, they're coming out with this. I can't wait to, you know what I mean? Like there's something behind that business plan that they got going, but it works because it keeps us guessing 24/7.
That is a really good point. It absolutely does work. And with over 90 in here, did you smash the like button yet? It is live and raw with the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, serving up all the Hot Toys talk, along with Fabio from FabsFigures in here. We're having a great old time. Continue to participate in the chat. And Fat Batman's Collected Nightmare says, I wish it was Django. Yeah, I mean,
Django too, but he's not doing anytime soon.
He's not. But the thing is, a mystery figure. He's thinking it could be. I think it's a wish.
Early release.
It could. Here's the thing. I will say this about the Django thing, Fabio. They pushed out Maul, and it wasn't going to come out till like May or June, and then we got that. I'm like, well, why the hell did you even change it? And actually, you didn't have to change anything.
Right.
So is it possible they're doing the same damn thing with Django? Because that would be like, holy crap, it would make it more of a surprise.
Well, why, what we have to ask ourselves is why did they do that? Why did they push Maul to give them to us, that quickly? You know what I mean? Was it a strategy to for a reason? Like, we don't know why they would do something like that. If I'm a distributor or a dealer or whatever, and I push a product to be released, 2-3 months away from the original release date, and then give them to you, a week later, why would I do that? You know what I mean? So that's what I think about, stuff like that. Like, how would that benefit me by doing that?
Yeah, it's real interesting. It's a puzzle, and you have to try and put it together. But like you said before, after mentioning it, they have a plan. It's kind of like the Council of the 12. It's kind of like the 12 from Battlestar Galactica. They have a plan, those Cylons. Ding, 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 ding. They have some, it's interesting.
There's a reason why that's done. Again, it's not like Sideshow didn't know that Hot Toys was, whether it was shipping them or they didn't have an idea of how soon they were going to get them, or they were just playing it safe because they didn't know. There's so many different reasons why things happen. And the worst part is they don't tell us anything, so we don't know.
We don't know. Good to have so many of you in here. 95 in here. Smash the like button. Thank you so much. Watching live and raw. P-Rock is in the house. Welcome in here, P-Rock. What's up, fellas? Good to see you guys. Good to see you as well on this new day. Hello, people in the chat. How about Alexandra Volkanovsky? How about Raquel Pennington? How about, holy crap, that freaking card. How about Cosmot? Gilbert Burns. I already was talking to P-Rock.
P-Rock wasn't watching the fights. He was playing with the turtles.
He was playing with the turtles, wishing he could watch the fights. Good to have you all in here. Let's continue to look at some of these chats in here. And as we're going down and looking at this, here's another one. Finishing up this segment and go to the next topic of the night. Star Wars, what's next announcement-wise? I have to put this one in here. This is the last one. Of course, if any of you have ideas, keep it going into the chat until we get to the next topic. I have to believe this one here, and let me go ahead and pull it up on the screen. I just, and I'm talking about Krrsantan, and I really think that that Krrsantan is going to be, and let me tell you something, both Chewbacca's, I was talking about it on the market value chart, old school market value chart. If you didn't see it, you have to check it out. The link is up at sixscalecantina.com. I did it yesterday at 2 p.m. What a fun show. So many of you were already seeing it. If you didn't see it yet, some of the big news is that the Force Awakens Chewbacca and the A New Hope Chewbacca are absolutely going through the roof right now within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. Boy, I'd love to see a Krrsantan. I think it'd be hot. And I actually think, Fabio, that this is going to be one of the ones from the Book of Boba Fett as well.
Absolutely. This, so one thing that I've wanted from Hot Toys, which I guarantee we're probably not getting, was a Chewbacca from the Solo movie. I think that the way they I don't know if you remember the advertisement pictures when the figure came out. There was a picture of him, Han Solo, from the Solo movie, next to Chewbacca. Obviously, used another Chewbacca, whether it was from A New Hope or the new one. I don't think it was a new one because it was that dark brown, not yellowish. But that's what I wanted.
Yeah, I wanted that too, baby.
Yeah, everybody wants
Solo movie.
Everybody wants a Chewbacca. Period. Chewbacca is a no-brainer sell for Hot Toys. They know that. They don't have to give you a double pack of Chewbacca all the time to give you a Chewbacca. This is going to be the first example of that. But figures like these, it's not a head sculpt where you need to detail anything. It's just straight up hair and just try to make it look like the character, which sounds simple enough, but it can't. I wouldn't know where to start. But these figures, very easy to sell, very popular, and again, when have we ever seen a black Chewbacca? Never. So this is super cool, brand new, absolutely, a must.
Yeah, and Mr. McPickle puts in here the Black Wookiee from Book of Boba. I don't know how to spell his name. That's exactly what we're talking about. So really, with the ones that we're talking about here, and thank you, Mr. McPickle. We're talking about Krrsantan. We brought up also, Cobb Vanth. We certainly believe that is one of the next few that is coming out. We also talked about Cad Bane. We absolutely believe that. And I'm actually going to go to the last one because there was one that I skipped that I want to bring up that I believe is one of the next few that's coming out. Now, some people believe, Fabio, that they're going to have to wait to season 3 for this, which doesn't make sense because this character was in season 1 of Mandalorian, season 2 of Mandalorian, directed episodes in the season 2 of The Mandalorian, is directing episodes in season 3. And I really think this is going to happen. This one actually wouldn't surprise me. And I think it'd be apropos to actually get this one May 4th week. I would love to see Carl Weathers. I do believe, besides the ones we just talked about before we get into the next segment of this show, that really this is coming. I see no damn reason at all. And let me say it again, no reason at all to have to wait for season 3. What is that going to do? I think you could come out with this now. And I do think they're going to surprise us with this. I really do. I think that this one's coming, dude.
Now, what would you give him for accessories? If this was let's say, for example, you had your choice and they were like, all right, Aries, you give me what you want to put in with this figure. What would you give him?
Definitely some weapons because he was certainly firing down in Mandalorian season 1. So you could definitely give him a couple of weapons when he was fighting his group there against the Mandalorians that came to help. Din Djarin before the heavy infantry Mandalorian waves at him, and he says, I got to get one of those jetpacks. Certainly, I'm trying to remember from the Mandalorian season 2, some of the accessories. I honestly think with him, it's more about the museum pose, honestly. It's just having this character. But I think you give him a couple of guns. You could put him in this outfit right here. Listen, I think that's all you need. But that's what I would give. Maybe a unique base. Maybe a unique base from like maybe that battle scene or something in there, from that. But I don't think you need a whole lot. What do you think? You think you need a whole lot with this?
Well, no. The reason why I'm asking is because, would it make it worth it for them if he doesn't come with much? I feel like the sale for them is not even the figure, it's the actor. You know what I mean? It's not even
exactly
what the figure does on the show, which of course it matters to a lot of people. I'm not saying it doesn't, but the fact that it's Carl Weathers, I feel like it's a big deal just as is. Obviously, anything you add to him is going to be, accessories part of, his character. But the selling point, I feel like, is the character, the actor.
Yeah, and with 100 in here, go ahead and smash the like button. You are watching Live and Raw with your Dark Jedi and my friend Fabio from FabsFigures, and single songwriter puts in here Grief Karga, pistols, and a bunch of bounty hunter pucks and a Grogu. I guess you could do a Grogu and the bounty hunter pucks. Yeah. You absolutely could, dude. I forgot about that with Grogu. And then if you add a Grogu in there, and then of course you have like the bounty hunter pucks and stuff like that, a couple of weapons, all of a sudden charging $295 for them. I mean, the prices are going up, dude. $285, $290 for this. It's going to be worth it for them. I mean, and I don't know about a Grogu, but I think a Grogu works, right? He was with Grogu several episodes.
Absolutely, yeah, no, but again, Grogu with him would be great. But now, is Hot Toys thinking, let's give him a Grogu with every figure now? I feel like they're not going to do that because don't forget we're getting a little Grogu pack with all the little things here and there. So I feel like they got the Grogu add-on out of the way, at least for the moment, because don't forget we're getting more. But I don't, it would go great, but I don't think we would get that with him. Again, not to overload every figure with a Grogu, I feel like.
Yeah, well, Elfido says Grief Karga should have a battle damaged arm. Yeah, I mean, if it could come with stuff like that. And the collector number 1 says, let's see if we can get to 100 likes. Let's smash that like button. Look, with 100 in here, let's go ahead and do that. Welcome everybody who's in here. Let me know what table you're at. I'm serving it all up, and we'll go ahead and refill table 5 right now. And let's fill up table 77 because this is where, as if it didn't happen already.
This is where the fun begins.
Come on. All right, let's go to the next topic, Fabio. I think this one's going to be interesting. We're going to go to 6scalecantina.com to look at some things with this. But this is going to be Star Wars versus Marvels, POs, and also IPs. We're also going to be getting into tonight, and you guys can get ready in the chats as well. What's your May 4th? This is for later in the show. What is your May 4th Hot Toys shocker? Now, I got to quantify this. Hot Toys shocker. It means it can't be any of the figures that we're talking about because, quite frankly, all of those are not shocking. I'm talking about May 4th shocker. You only get one, okay, for each chat. Well, actually, you could, for the shocker. You only get one with the shocker. And you literally have to do this. Whether good or bad, let me play it again. You got to get your one ready. All right, get that ready for a little bit later in the show. But right now, Star Wars versus Marvel, okay, pre-orders and IPs. We're going to get into a little bit of this. So, Fabio, as I pull up 6scalecantina.com and go to what are the new sections on there, again, one of the new sections that's under construction is the Marvel market value chart at 6scalecantina.com. We already have a lot of the stuff up, but it's under construction. There's no trends in there at all. Prices are getting built in. It's going to take several months, but we're excited about that. But one of the things that we're following very closely is what is going on with all the pre-orders that they're backed up with for Hot Toys. Now, in all fairness, and I will tell you this, if you know anything about production, you know anything about commodities, there is crazy stuff going on right now in the world globally when it comes to stuff, whether you're talking about gasoline, you're talking about resin products, you're talking about oils, even if you're no matter what you're talking about even if you're talking about hydrogen, okay, which makes oils, anything like that, it is so difficult right now to get supplies in. Raw materials is absolutely off the world. So we have to not kill Hot Toys on this, as if someone else can just go ahead and just have their way in this world right now. It's not working that way, but there are some ways. There are some things that they can do, and some things that Fabio and I are going to discuss that they can do. So let me go ahead and share 6scalecantina.com. And if you don't have 6scalecantina.com bookmarked, you may want to consider doing so. All the information on Star Wars, Hot Toys, all your secondary market stuff, Marvel coming soon, already up and under construction, so you can see it for sure. And already we're on this show right here, live and raw. Your latest information on 6scalecantina.com. But let's go to the end over here, Fabio. Let's kind of talk on, this section here, Star Wars versus Marvel. It's really a comparison. You have 20, I'm highlighting it here on the last column, 20 1/6 scale unreleased Hong Kong pre-orders for Star Wars this year. You have 31 unreleased Hong Kong pre-orders for Marvel left this year. That's 51 pre-orders they have to come out with. Now, in this scenario here, looking at this, I'm going to go to you first. If they start putting out 2 at a time, certainly for Star Wars, if they put out 4 figures between now and May 4th and get down to 16, you're basically only talking about, with May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that's 8 months. You're only talking about, you need 2 Star Wars releases a month out of 4 or 5 weeks of the month, depending on what month it is, for the rest of the year, which is actually pretty good if they could come out with a few now. But the other thing is, in those other weeks, they got to come out with Marvel figures. But I think no matter what they do, they may have to start doubling up. I don't necessarily believe they have to double up on Star Wars, is my point. Because with it being 20, if they come out with a few now, they can literally just put out a couple a month, and even in some months, just 1. If they want to put 3 or 4 into next year, which I think that they're going to do, and I've been calling that for about a month. But I think with the Marvel, they probably have to start doubling up, at least with them. Couple of ones here, couple of ones here, couple of ones there. Under that view, can that get them caught up? It'll certainly get them caught up with Star Wars, because they literally only have 4 pre-orders, as you can see with this on 6scalecantina.com, for 6 scale of 2023. Just 4. And you know that we're talking about announcements that's going to increase exponentially. But what do you think about this view on them doubling up on Marvel or some of these?
So ideally and realistically, it would make sense for them, if their goal is to catch up, right? To release, obviously, as often as possible, 2 to 3, a month, to be able to catch up. My question is, are they really trying to catch up? Is that a goal of theirs? Because sometimes, it's beneficial for companies to be delayed, to be backed up, so it benefits them sometimes to be that way. So is your goal, which is why it's so difficult to try to pinpoint anything about Hot Toys, because, we know nothing about them. So is their goal to catch up? Probably not, because I feel like if they wanted to, they really would.
Pause there for a minute. Pause there for a minute, because you bring up a great point, which I really haven't heard yet, at least in this community. I think it's a great point, and maybe just wasn't paying attention. You're saying, is it their strategy? Because you would automatically think they're falling behind, obviously because of COVID, like so many other companies, obviously because of the world, the situation that they're in. But in a way, they almost built this mess before COVID. And it almost feels like that maybe, I don't feel like maybe to this capacity it's where they are, but maybe it's their method. Maybe there's a method behind their madness. Maybe they just want to continue to do this type of thing. Because the funny thing that you say that is, I was actually considering that they're going to start, and I think they've done this a couple of times before COVID, and I may be crazy, but I know from following this, they may start putting figures out 2.5, 3 years in advance. Like, this is going to be coming out then, by the way, just letting you know we're putting it out. By the way, I mean, it could be their strategy, Fabio. It's a good damn point.
Well, a lot of companies, a lot of big companies, their business model is fraud. And I'm not saying by any means that Hot Toys is doing this,
No, of course.
because they're not. But there are companies, big companies that, successful companies, one of them being the biggest one is the pharmaceutical industry. A lot of these companies, they get their business model is fraud. End of story. If you're giving out a product that is, for example, harmful, and that there's going to be a problem with this product, and you're going to put it on the market anyway, that you have to have money set aside for these lawsuits, right? Which is why.
That's right.
Which is
Appreciate
why.
You're right.
No, it's 100% true. So think about this. When you have this, and I'm giving a general example of where I'm coming from with this. So for example, you buy you get prescribed a pharmaceutical, right? And years after taking it, you're going to see a commercial, because it happens all the time. You're going to see it. It's not if you're going to see. You're going to see eventually a commercial about a law firm telling you that if you were a patient who got prescribed this specific drug that caused death,
You
stroke,
can get compensated, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
right.
Exactly.
So the pharmaceutical companies are already prepared for these lawsuits. They already know off the bat, because again, their business plan is fraud. So they made billions off of the drug, and they'll pay out millions. So they'll make $1 billion, and they'll pay out in a class action lawsuit. They'll pay 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. How much money did they make? A lot. So that's my point. So I'm not saying that Hot Toys is committing fraud. What I'm saying is that plan of being delayed may be working for them one way or the other. How? Obviously, we don't know. How would we know? But that's where I'm coming from with that. Because there's no way that, they're very, very, very backed up. And as a company, I own my own business, and being backed up is never good. Never good, because somebody's going to be upset. So that's why it doesn't make sense to me that they're comfortable being so delayed. And not only that, but they keep adding product to the list.
And it's almost like you embrace your situation. It's almost like you're like, okay, we're going to take this catastrophe or this storm or this craziness. And when you really break it down, it's not too far from what they were doing pre-COVID anyway. And they're like, let's just kind of slip it under the rug a little bit. We'll catch up a little bit. We'll put out some multiples here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And then all of a sudden kind of keep it as our mechanism right now and make it seem like no harm, no foul. It's what we do. Here's an announcement. You keep putting out an announcement. You keep walking around and you think that somebody's ill, or you think that something's wrong. And they keep saying you're out of your freaking mind. I'm great. And they're whistling while they work like the seven dwarfs from Snow White. You start wondering, maybe you're freaking crazy. Maybe you're outside your mind. And you have to wonder, is it possible that maybe they're having conversations like you and I are having, and they're talking about, well, let's kind of maybe embrace this a little bit. And when we want to catch up, it'll just kind of be like, oh, it's what they do. It's kind of like when we come out with a weird 2-pack. Here's the Nightmare Batman and the freaking Dark Suit Superman. Let's put out Ahsoka when we're not supposed to put out Ahsoka, and put this out. And then we'll just kind of do this and put a couple here, releases there, and just continue on as business as usual. It is a valid damn point and a smart strategy, Fabio, to try and get out of this.
Yeah, so that's what it would be. I mean, even for us, just for us, forget them as a company. For us as collectors, and specifically for me, obviously, who doesn't want to get figures more frequently? I don't think anybody has a problem with that. Yes, of course, the money is the problem. Can you afford them all or not? That's a completely different conversation. But as a collector who is, okay, money-wise, being able to buy them, I don't think any collector like that would be complaining, oh, they're coming out too soon. Because if you're complaining about them being delayed, that means you're going to be excited if they're coming out more frequent. So it shouldn't be a problem, you know?
Yeah, and Bob says, I ran out of aluminum foil. Can someone lend me some? And I don't know if he's talking to someone in the chat or talking about, you know, but it is interesting because sometimes when you're put in a rock and a hard place, remember that Rolling Stones song? That Rolling Stones song that goes, I'm in a rock, in a hard place, Mick Jagger. Sometimes you take your, it is a general strategy. It is an all-time strategy. Sometimes you take your situation and instead of revealing your disdain or your disposition or your predicament, you kind of never let them see you sweat. What was that old freaking deodorant commercial? I don't know if it was Secret Strong Enough for a Man, but made for women or something where like never let them see you sweat.
Secret.
Okay, it is secret or one of those damn things. Never let them see you sweat. It is interesting, and I've seen it done before. That's why you're mentioning it up. So you have to wonder if they would do that. But, you know, kind of listening in here with this, let's go back to this screen. Where do they got to put out the multiple announcements? So I'm showing you here, you know, if they came out with a few for Star Wars between now, let's say 3 or 4, Fabio, between now and May 4th week, you literally will have 16 left. 16 into the remaining weeks that are coming in over here, 38 weeks, whatever it is. You can literally just put out only two Star Wars announcements a month. That means you could come out with one, and then maybe in a couple weeks come out with another one.
Every
so
2
literally
weeks.
They would be in good shape. So where do they got to put out the multiple releases right now, in your opinion?
What do you mean where? Like what?
Like what months, what time? I feel like now's the time where they can get a head start of it. And I feel like they can get a head start with Star Wars, but I think Marvel has even more pre-orders. They got 31 that are supposed to come out in 2022.
Right.
And you got 20. I feel like they've got to double up more on Marvel. What do you think?
Well, I mean, you have to understand too, the fact that their New Year just ended pretty much, that affects them a lot as well. You know, that's a big deal too. So, you know, forget COVID for a second, but that's a delay as well. That's a weeks delay. So now not only are you delayed from COVID or whatever is going on due to COVID, now you got your New Year's. That's another delay where they don't do anything at all for weeks. So again, if their goal is to catch up, which I feel like they've never been eager to do so. Like I said before, apparently last year they released multiples, at once. So it's possible, and that didn't catch them up either. You know what I mean? They were still delayed doing that. So I don't think the releases, the constant, the frequent releases are going to benefit them if their goal is not to catch up. Because if their goal is to catch up, believe me, they would have been caught up already.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. And I really think, and you have to look at some history in business and recent trends, and you're exactly right. I do think that they can embrace this strategy. They don't have to reveal their hand as much as we think. They can catch up on some, like 808 Michigan Jedi says in here. He says that they might come out with 5 or 6 by May 4th. All of a sudden they do that. Let's say, if they did that, they threw a couple of Marvel in there, they did 4 Star Wars, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a different story. More of the onus falls onto Marvel, which has literally been the story, which is going to bring me into the second part of this topic when we're talking about IPs. Because all of a sudden with Star Wars, if it's broken down that way, like I said, when you look at this on 6scalecantina.com, now you only need 2 more Star Wars figures from May all the way to December, because that's all that's due out. And if you delay 3 or 4 of them until 2023, which I really believe they're going to do, now you're in some situations where once you only need 1 Star Wars, you could come out with a couple of Marvel here, a couple of Marvel there. And then all the while, they're not putting out a damn press release saying, we understand about COVID and we're really behind and don't get worried and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Because, you have to wonder too. We talk a lot about this in this community on these channels. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like literally like 1 or 2% of everybody that buys Hot Toys. You know that, and I know that. And literally, they're buying these figures. When they're up at Sideshow, they're buying these figures left and right. And they're certainly buying them within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. And a lot of those figures are going up, and they are insane. So someone's buying them all, unless it's you, Fabio. You just keep buying all the figures on Sideshow. You keep buying all the damn figures within the secondary market. So I think, like Palpatine says, sometimes we need to embrace a wider view of what's going on over here, and not just a dogmatic view of the Jedi. And I think I have to play this clip because I brought up Palpatine at table 66. Let me fill you up, baby.
Good. Anakin, good.
Good.
And the other thing is, too, what other situation can they do, since you bring up this point? Because, again, it's not really their fault. Like Han Solo would say, and I need that clip, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Well, another
No
thing,
light speed. It's not, and no raw materials. It's not my fault. No production. It's not my fault. Gas prices being $10 a gallon. It's not my fault. It's not Hot Toys' fault.
but the thing is that, what if every delay is caused by a different thing? You know what I mean? Like maybe it could
Some
be
of them are. I can guarantee it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So it's not always just the same excuse or the same reason to why they're delayed. There could be, so many different things that are going on behind the scenes that, again, because we don't know anything, we can't even speculate on what may be going on. But anything delayed doesn't mean that it's being delayed by the same reason, another figure was delayed or another figure is being delayed in the future. A lot of things, a lot of different things happen, and there's a lot of things that they can't control. I'm assuming, and I would hope that they would try to control as much as possible, whether it's the factories, whether it's, production, whether it's, designing, tailoring, all that stuff. I would assume and think that they would take charge. They would want to, take charge of as much as possible. But it's impossible sometimes. So again, we don't know.
We don't know. And with 90 in here, did you smash the like button, baby? You are watching Live and Raw with your Dark Jedi, Aries Terrigen, serving up all the Hot Toys talk, along with Fabio from FabsFigures, are having a grand old time. 808 Michigan Jedi says, Fab, have a storage unit to fill all of them for all the figures you're buying in the secondary market that looks like it's selling.
Look at this storage unit.
Oh, I mean, would you look at that, everybody there? Jeepers creepers.
The
And
boxes,
those aren't empty boxes. Those are
No,
full
no.
boxes.
they're all filled, and I kept stacking them up so high that they ended up falling down, and that's why it looks like this. It looks like a freaking train hit it.
So listen, make sure you guys get ready for what's your May 4th Hot Toys shocker. Now, if you already put it in the chat, I urge you to put it in again, because I'm not that good at setting the controls at the heart of the sun like Pink Floyd is to be able to go back in. So we're going to go into the next segment now, which is seeing if I can put it up over here. Not that one. Your Star Wars, what's your May 4th Hot Toys shocker? Now, we have other ones that are coming up. Okay, we got your absurd May 4th week picks. We also got your Star Wars Hot Toys Future Grail picks, but we're not on those topics yet. Let's go one at a time so you don't get confused. What's your May 4th Hot Toys shocker? Don't put Cobb Vanth. That's not going to be a shock. Okay, you can't put that in. I won't put it up on the screen. Don't put in Boba Fett. That's not going to be coming in from the book of Boba Fett, okay? Don't put in Obi-Wan from the Obi-Wan series. That's not a shock. I mean, I need you to literally, if I can find this clip again, you need to be able to do this. So, Fabio, you and I talked about this today, and we're kind of prepared for, what the shock would be. So, I'm going to go with yours first. I'll get it up on the screen, and hopefully you remember, because I know how busy you were today, what your shock was. In the chat, you can participate. What is going to be the shock on May 4th? It's all in fun. We're just having fun. It's a shock. What would be the ultimate shock? You get one. Here is Fabio's pick for a shock. Talk to me, Fab.
So
the
reason why this would be a shock to me, seeing so many figures that Hot Toys over the years has teased and shown prototypes of that were never made. So, there's been a lot of figures over the years that just completely gone, disappeared. We never heard from them ever again. The reason why would be a shocker to me is because, number one, this figure is a big deal. A lot of people want this figure. The character was a big deal in the movie. The figure looks amazing. And, for those who have a lot of the Rogue One line, this would fit in there so well. And this is why, if they make this, I would be so excited and so shocked at the same time, because it's something that I don't expect them to come out at least so soon. I want this to be made, but if it comes out now, amazing.
This would be a huge shock. And it's kind of funny because, even if people would say, and I would say, well, but they already teased this, it's just not on anybody's radar right now. So this would absolutely fit the bill for this. And I can't wait for the new Top Gun movie. But anyway, look, baby.
Also, another thing, don't forget too, they've been making Rogue One figures as well, still to this day. So
yes,
it's a good sign.
It's a very, very good sign. Oh, I think that this is 1,000% coming. I really, really do. And I've already heard. Is it possible that I heard from the Hot Toys wizard on this? You absolutely have to wonder. But I'm telling you right now, this would be a shock. It would be a coffee spiller for sure. My goodness, that is Fabio's pick. He gets one before we go to the next segment. Let's go to some of these other people's picks that are in here, Fabio, that they're putting in. And a shock. My goodness, I got so many in here. God, I got to go all through these. Let me put them on in here. Max's Geekdom, shocker, Mace Windu. At this point, I think it would be a shock, Fabio, even though we know it's coming.
Absolutely.
That would qualify as a shock.
Yep.
This one as well from Sebastian.
Oh,
We know it's coming, but we're waiting so damn long. Diecast C-3PO, shock. The collector number one, I think that this qualifies, even though I know this is coming too eventually. This would be a shock. This would be the one that would blow everyone away and come full circle for reasons we've already discussed because of what happened last May 4th. But absolutely. 808 says Darth Talon would be his. That would be a shock. Single songwriter go with Grievous. I agree. That would be a shock. Joe P. This is the best one. They released something on time. Joe P. Come on. Come on. That's a good one. Darth Drez with dun 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 dun. Bespin Han. I think that would be a shock, dude. That would be a shock. That would be. It's one that we know is coming, but it would be a shock. Sam Short again with C-3PO and Mace. Keep them coming in here. This is what Admiral Akbar or Amon Mantha. Oh my goodness! Single songwriter.
Remember, I said Akbar last Monday.
You said Akbar. I think Akbar's coming, dude.
No, yeah, he would be awesome. He would be.
No,
awesome.
which one? Which one? Are we gonna get the freaking OT one, or are we gonna get the sequels one? Is there any chance to get the sequels one?
Well, I feel like we would get the sequel one before the OT one because they're not making anything OT. I feel like so.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
A shock would be a Sith Stalker. Yeah, that would be a great shock, a huge shock. And that's what this is all about. Joe P goes, any non-trooper from the OT. I feel you. I feel you.
Any non-trooper.
Newt Gunray. But the Lord Sidious, He sent it. Come on. I mean, that would be a shock. Holy crow. All right, we're going to get to other people's in there. Casper goes, oh my God, I love Gunray. Mace for Brandon. New Slave Leia. That would be the shock.
That would be.
That would
I would never expect that. I would never expect that. So if it came out, I'd be like, oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one.
That would be a shock. My goodness gracious. Eric Hankey, welcome in here. Yavin 3-pack with Leia, Luke, and Han. Frack. Dude, that's like that. That's the ceremony. That, you know, I don't know about a 3-pack, but I could see all the ceremony for the 50th anniversary for freaking Star Wars. You know, with Luke with the medal and Han Solo and Leia with the longer hair. But I mean, this would be a great shock. Maybe that would happen. Oh my God.
Can you imagine if we got our first 3-pack?
You know what?
Oh man.
You know what? All right, let me ask you a serious question. And you can let me know in the chat as well. Do you think in the history of Hot Toys, I'm being serious, I won't say the history, in the next 10 years, do you think we would actually, there's a chance we'll get a 3-pack from Hot Toys?
I don't think so. I don't think so because number one, figures are getting super expensive as it is. Single figures the price is going up and up and up. Number two, obviously double packs are up there as well. So the more the figure increase,
so much.
The double packs are going to go up even more. So a third one is going to be what? $1,200, $1,100.
It would have to be like the Max Rebo band with the 3 characters and their small characters.
That makes sense 100%, and that'll be acceptable and it'll sell. But like
that maybe.
Yeah, but 3 figures just like I mean,
no,
I don't. It's all about the pricing too, though, because if something looks, you know, a lot of people would make sense out of it by saying it's 3 figures, so it's okay. But it's not okay for everybody who can't afford those 3 figures. And if that's the only way, and that's the only way to get those 3 figures, a lot of people aren't buying the whole 3-pack because they can't afford it. You know,
it have to be small.
Yeah, so I feel like they won't make a lot of money doing that. Even though I would think and I would assume that the idea behind a 3-pack would be to make that much more money from the sales, but I don't think it would sell that much because it's too expensive.
Yeah, I totally agree. TX Boy says I would say General Gree. Oh, Gree's coming, and I think that'd be a shock. Even though we know it's coming, it would absolutely be a shock.
Agree with
the collector number 1 goes Hot Toys shocker would be them laughing and dropping Electro. Well, there you go. Snow Trooper reissue, that would be a shocker. Although I really think they're going to do that, but it would shock. Because I've been calling that Snow Trooper is going to come. And is it possible, Vengeful Canadian, that it's going to come in the 40th anniversary packaging of ESB? They're still going to run 2 more figures this year. And I say, wait for it. Wait for it. You've waited all show for it.
They call him the Wizard.
Maybe that's what they call you, Fabio. Arc Trooper 5s, says Sam Short. Borg Cube, Jar Jar Binks, shocker. Arc Trooper 5, shocker. Even though it's 100% coming, it's just that we want it so bad. El Fido Eddie OT figure, absolutely. Need Poe. That would be a damn shock, dude. But I think that's coming now, especially with Moon Knight. We're going to get another figure. Come on. Come on. Let me go to mine. Keep putting them in the chat on what your shocker would be. I'm going to go to mine. And is it possible that when I put this up on the screen, it's just my shocker. It's just my shocker that it's guaranteed that you're going to do this just for me putting this up on the screen. Because this is my shocker. We're all talking about Newt Gunray. We're having fun. We're talking about crazy stuff like that. Here's mine. That would be the ultimate shocker for May 4th. I'm going to put it up, baby. Do I have it queued up? Drum roll, please. Fabio. Shock City. Shock City.
I think
Shock
everybody.
City.
I think everybody would their mind would explode if they saw this.
How many freaking people would pre-order this though, dude? Would just go absolutely insane.
I think people who aren't even fans of her just would buy her out of principle. No, really, just to be able to say, finally they made her, I'm going to buy her just to have her. Absolutely.
Well, you know what's funny about this shocker and why it would be a shocker, but I brought this up on a show a couple of weeks ago. Going to StarWars.com, and they have Cara Dune in the likeness of who? Gina Carano, but they do not mention Gina Carano's name. They still have her up on the darn website. You've got figures out the wazoo of her. I think at this point, I don't know. It would be a shock as hell. But that would be my shock. That would be the ultimate shock. Sure, Darkseid Ray would be a shock. But the Dark Jedi knows. The Dark Jedi knows that that's coming. But I don't know if this is coming. That would be a freaking shock.
I feel like the shock, the shock factor of this whole thing would be she's not. I don't think anybody's expecting her because we know what's going on, with her legally and all that stuff with what happened on the show. So the reason why this would be a shocker is because of that, because nobody's expecting this to ever get made. The moment she gets announced, forget it. Everybody lose their mind.
Yeah. Did you smash the like button yet? You can do it with your freaking laser blaster. I was outside, on the freaking telephone pole, phone wires with a pipe, and getting that sound like George Lucas and them did back for Star Wars. Endor Han for Chewie's bandolier. Dude, that would be a damn shock. Come on. And Endor Han, any freaking Han at this point would be a shock, my friend.
Absolutely. Any Han, any Luke would be, because, these are characters that like everybody loves and everybody would be, super happy with anything from them. Even if it's, a reissue, everybody would be so excited about, that. I mean, not literally a reissue, something like a 2.0 or something. People would be happy and excited about something like that. So I feel like, Han and Luke are always, and Darth Vader and Obi, they're always going to be, must have characters, beloved characters. So no matter what they give us from them, we're always going to buy. But yeah, the Cara Dune would be so unexpected.
How about a Han and C-3PO 2-pack?
Oh yeah? Watch this.
They call it the shut 'em up or shut 'em down 2-pack.
Do you know that that's a possibility? But
I do.
it's a possibility. The reason why I'm saying it's a possibility is because if you think about it, to not have to reissue the Chewbacca Han double pack, right? Even though people would love that, but again, I'm going to pretend I'm in Hot Toys' shoes, and I'm going to say, you know what? Let's not reissue this, even though it would sell out immediately because everybody's looking for it. Let's give them, a different version of this double pack. Let's give them, Han and C-3PO, for example. That would be amazing because it's not a straight reissue. But
left field. You're talking left field. No one would expect it.
Correct. But here's the thing. The fact that they never made a C-3PO, I don't think the first C-3PO we're getting is a double pack. I think they're going to give him his own box, its own, everything.
They need to. The only way that I see it being a double pack is if they show up together in that Obi-Wan series and there's like holy crap, then I can see them saying, you know what, frick it, we'll do that. That's the way I would see it. Otherwise, I agree. If they do that, I think they would do it. Otherwise, they got to give him his own pack. I agree.
No, they have to. And I feel like they'll give us a C-3PO first by himself. And then, eventually they'll add him to a double pack. Absolutely. That I see happening before getting a C-3PO in a double pack as his first release. That I don't see happening at all.
So listen, with 90 in here, what is your May 4th Hot Toys shocker? We're going through everybody in the chat. If I missed you, go ahead and type it again. I will do my best as I'm setting the controls at the heart of the sun to put it up on there. Fabio and I are talking them all the way through. You got Fabio's shocker, which would be a huge shock. Baze Malbus from Rogue One. You already got mine. Cara Dune, not Gina Carano with the name, but Cara Dune with her likeness from The Mandalorian Season 1, from The Mandalorian Season 2. You have to wonder, is it possible any of these shockers? We're going through so many in here. CT603, a friend of TK FOMO, says, I'm thinking Saw Gerrera, Forrest Whitaker. Boy, that would be a shocker, dude. And that's Rogue One.
Yeah. Well, that was my pick last week, remember? Saw Gerrera. I think he's a must, too. I think Baze and Saw Gerrera have to. I think they're going to be, hopefully, they're going to be the last figures of the line. Once they're done with that line, they have to be.
And the collector number 1 goes to Find Shocker at Single Songwriter, and Single Songwriter goes Twi'lek, Darth Talon. What's her name with freaking Chopper? It's escaping me now. There's so many. It would be a shock. But they're coming. How about Shock T for the Jedi? Come on, are you kidding me?
Somebody said Frog Lady.
Frog Lady. We're gonna get. Well, this guy says another friend that I think this one's a friend of TK's CT Suck It. The Bestman guy running with the Cobb Tano from Empire Strikes Back. That would be a shocker, dude. Dude, they have that vintage figure, I think. They absolutely have that vintage figure. I know the one he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Boba, you Jedi poodle.
That'd be cool.
Little Annie and Padme. I thought it was Little Padme and Little Annie and Padme.
Now, I have a question.
Cool.
I have a question for you, Aries, and I have a question for the chat as well. If Hot Toys decided to add voice boxes to the figures, would you guys like that, or would you guys be like, "Oh, this makes it cheap. I don't want anything to do with this"?
I don't have Didn't they have that with the Vader, or did they have a breathing one with that A New Hope first one? Wasn't that It wasn't a voice. Wasn't it a breathing?
I think one of them had something. Yeah, I never put batteries in my stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but I wonder, like, for example, so I have I forget who made the figure. It's a Kratos from the God of War, right? So it's a 12-inch, figure. Comes with, a few accessories. Really cool figure. The figure was $100 and something. I got 2 of them, but they come with the button in the chest that you press, and he says, phrases from the video game that he used in the video game. Obviously, this is not a hot toy. It's plastic. It looks cool as hell, but it's still a toy. I feel like the voice box and those features make it cheap to me. Make it really feel like a toy. But I don't know how that would pull off, on a hot toy. That's why I'm asking.
It is a toy. And for me, it's a very, very good question. As Leia with the Boosh disguise as a shocker, I agree. Emperor Palpatine, we know another one's coming, the collector, but you're right, it would shock me. What about the AT-AT driver? Absolutely. Keep them coming as we're going to the last few minutes over here before we wrap it up at the 10 o'clock hour. Thesis Mar, come on, I know it. AT-AT driver, Admiral Veers, Jabba the Hutt. To answer your question, Fabio, if I got like that chrome-plated Mandalorian and there was a way I can press the button or with a remote and it could with really good quality say, this is the way, I don't know. I think I dig it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how I would feel knowing
Because
that
R2 speaks. R2 does. I mean, right?
Yeah, no, he comes with even I have a Sideshow one. You press the button, he says, he makes the sound. So, but again, that's cool because number one, it's not a Hot Toy, it's from Sideshow. You could tell the quality, not a Hot Toys quality, even though it's pretty good for what it is. And because of what it is, it doesn't bother me. But I'm talking about like a for example, not a Darth Vader, any other figure, a Han, for example, give him a one of his catchphrases as like you said, either a freaking remote or a button.
Yeah, shut him up or shut him down with that C-3PO 2-pack.
That's what I'm saying. So
that would be epic. I'd buy it.
It's a cool idea, but how is it gonna go with the figures?
Well, here's the thing, and you bring up an interesting point as I continue to go down over here. Death Star Canteen Manager. Come on. I would love it. Tard Far. Come on. That's right, Mark Mackey. Can we keeping it over here? First 3-pack in Keter packaging. It would have to be the Max. I could actually see the Max Revo band with this. Small little aliens, little figures that are small. Like you got one of them there is going to be small like Grogu. I could see that. I could absolutely see them. Ewoks 3-pack. That could happen. That could happen, the Ewoks 3-pack from JS Fabio. That would be one where it would work. It would still be expensive because you'd have 3 of them, but it would be like $500-$600. But yeah, I could see that. But no, to answer your question, look, dude, Hot Toys, they're toys. They're not statues. This isn't Sylvester Stallone in Philadelphia from the Rocky movie with that statue. It's not a statue. It's like it's a toy. So if they did it, like not one of those cheap ass ones that you pull the string, goes, we're Simple City.
You wind it up.
But if they did it right, I mean, the R2 works. I would love a Mandalorian that says this is the way, because it's still a toy. I still play with these things.
Yeah, no, but again, yes, it's a toy, but it's a high end.
It's a high end. It's a good point.
You know what I mean? So it's the reason.
It better be like Beats Audio.
Right. So the reason I asked this question is because of the where Hot Toys stands in the figure world is at the top, in my opinion. So knowing what a toy is supposed to be like, feel like, whatever, would that change your perception of what Hot Toys is? Because again, yes, I get their toys, but it's not something that I personally would play with.
I would tell you one thing it would do, in a way, to get Grandma. I got to get the Grand Moff Tarkin in here. In a way, there's no reason for them to compete with statue companies and some of these other busts. But when they compete with toy companies, when they compete with Gentle Giant, when they compete with Cotobuyanka, when they compete with Hasbro, when they compete with any toy company, even the toy companies in the North Pole with Santa Claus and the magic elves, and sometimes the Hot Toys wizard goes and visits there as well, along with the aliens in Antarctica. It's a toy. It's a toy. So in a way, Fabio, they kind of almost separate themselves a little bit, because you're really not going to get. Are you going to get that on a Prime 1 statue? Are you going to get, are you going to get any of those sound effects on a Queen Studios bust? I don't know, but I mean,
it's possible. It's possible, but I feel like that would really cheapen the statue. You know what I mean? Because I feel
like what the hell is this? It's like Toot My Dragon. Anyway,
it'd be weird for this first statue, I feel like.
Let me go through the last ones over here. The people put in Shocker, single songwriter, Navarro, Imperial Safe House Diorama. Yeah, that would be an absolute shocker. Rob Garcia says, "What's up? What is up? Welcome in here, my friend." Brandon Altman says, 3-pack Pit Droids. Dude, I think Pit Droids is coming with what's her free name there, Peely. I still think that's coming. I guess that would be a shocker, although I wouldn't be shocked. Pablo says Mace. Yeah, at this point it would be a shock. We know it's coming. A collector says, give us Cara. I would so love Cara Dune. No love for Bail Organa. Come on, baby. That would be, I already gave my pick. We're only allowed water. You're in the chat. You guys can keep going, but that would be the best. How cool? How many people you think would tune in to see my reaction on Bail Organa, Fabio? When it would be like you got to tune in, Aries.
You've been asking for that figure since we met.
How do I not have a Jimmy Smits clip in here? Exactly. What the heck? I'm dropping the ball. I'm dropping the ball. I mean, that would absolutely be epic.
Get some Page Tico.
I mean, I get one where he's doing this. Oh my goodness gracious! Come on. Let's look at some more over here. Now I've lost my place. Pit Droid 808. This was so much fun tonight. Jar Jar Binks. Yes. That would be absolutely crazy. If I missed some of them in here, Wolf, Toe, 2-pack. Kevin Collectibles, put the sound dialogue in the base. Yeah. That's pretty cool idea, Fabio, for your question. If the sound dialogue was in the base and not in the figure, you can choose to put the back. Yeah, that's a great freaking idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you put the batteries on the base instead of the figure. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Wow.
That's a great idea.
Wow. CT603 actually must have said 2 Banthas because the collector number 1 would buy 2 of them. So much fun. Ashley Chase says, good to see you. Single songwriter. Dude. And he says Jar Jar Binks. Dude, this was awesome. I'm at my 10 o'clock hour. We've been going here almost an hour and 45 now. Time to sign off. We had some topics we didn't get into. So now we have them for next week, which are the fun ones.
Yep.
So I'm not going to say what they are.
No,
I won't.
They got to stay tuned.
It was as fun as this one, and we have a couple of them. So make sure you tune in next week to Live and Raw. I will have Fabio back with me again. And is it possible we'll have you participate in the chat? And I say yes. On your way out here, let me know what table you're at. I will fill you up if you want me to. Fabio, I always hate asking you this because we know what's going on your channel. It is those collection tours, the images you put up on Instagram are freaking epic. Are we going to get another collection tour now? Because you keep adding. So talk to me.
So, yes, it's funny you say that because a couple of days ago, I was like, you know what? I was like, because all I do, really for the figures is I take pictures. I do a video on the turntable, and that's pretty much it. I don't talk in the videos. I don't do anything in the video. So what I was planning on doing, soon was to give an update of what I've gotten, lately and actually speak on the video as well. So we'll see how that comes out.
Well, you can subscribe to FabsFigures here right in the video description below for your convenience. You can also subscribe to FabsFigures at 6scalecantina.com. Listen, I'm going to put this up on the screen for both his channel and my channel. You can go to the links and resources page. Look, it's no joke if I have your link up in here. We have over 20,000 now unique views at 6scalecantina.com. We've hit a huge mark with that. And if you go to the resources and links page, all the channels are on there. If you're a content creator, you don't see yourself on here, reach it up. If you're in the community, Star Wars Hot Toys, I'll get you up in here. I will get you hooked up, but you can also link to Fabio right from here. He is in there for sure. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe to Fabio from FabsFigures. Good friend of mine here. And also, don't forget, if this is the first time you're watching 6 Scale Cantina, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. And it's so much appreciate that. You'll get the latest information. And if you like the fun that we had here today, of course, you could join the channel for expanded thoughts and heightened analysis. If you did get to tune in yesterday, we had a fabulous show after the market show live with, you can see on the screen, this little pink banner, Sunday Coffee Live, which is going to take place every Sunday after the market chart where you see on this banner right here for some expanded thoughts on heightened analysis. But if you like some of the fun that Fabio and I were having in here, maybe some shows hosted by the Hot Toys Wizard, some insight on what I do, some crazy unboxings, as you see me there hanging out with Felicity Jones, just go ahead and hit that little join button. And if you like everything that it comes with, thank you very much for sure. Next show coming on up for 6 scale Cantina is going to be the Aries Tarrington show this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern by 2 special guests. It's ladies' night. From Positive Fandom and Victoria from Victoria's Cantina. You absolutely do not want to miss that for sure. This coming Wednesday, we're going to talk all about some crazy Star Wars rumors, not only for Hot Toys, but for the Obi-Wan series, the Andor series, the Mandalorian, and for Celebration. So you don't want to miss that. Victoria has some great insight in the Star Wars world. So does so you don't want to miss that for sure. And that's what's going on. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Of course, Lael, I believe, is live now, 1/6 scale man. So go ahead and jump on. I think he has a comic book show. We will sign off. Go ahead and go show your support there. I will be, I believe, on Lael's show this coming Wednesday on Say What. So stay tuned for that as well. You will catch me Wednesday on Say What on Lael's show. Go show him your support now, and more to come from him from there. Fabio, this was fun, baby.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I can't wait till next week.
Like a bantha. I don't have that song, but I could do this. Let me not fill up Grogu. Let me fill up everyone on this table.
Good. And he getting good.
Good.
I don't always buy coffee out or spatchka, but what I do, I get it from 6 scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.